Oh, that's not right!
Hey guys, Cole here. Thanks again, dudes. Up next, aerials. Me, drills, now. Kronovi, in-game commentary, after. Having the ability to control your car in flight is one of the biggest differences between a Rocket League newbie and a seasoned pro. When you can hit the ball when it's anywhere, from anywhere, the game really starts to get interesting. Suddenly, Rocket League is played vertically as well as horizontally, and it becomes one hell of a spectator sport as well. With these aerials, all we're basically doing is this. We jump, tilt back, and let loose on that boost, baby. Easy peasy. Okay. It's not easy. It's really, really hard. If you've ever tried to aerial and spun wildly out of control, don't worry. We have a drill that'll start you off slowly. Head into an exhibition match on Beckwith Park with no bots. Leave the ball alone for now and grab boost. Align your car with the red goal line, then jump in the air and tilt back about 45 degrees, making sure you don't turn left or right at any time. Hold down boost and you will soar majestically into the sky. Your first challenge is to try and let go of boost so that you land on the red goal line. This will hopefully get pretty simple pretty quickly, and it will give you the skill of judging the flight of your battle car. Now add extra difficulty by changing the angle you start at and turning in the air so you still land on the goal line. As you increase this angle, you'll notice the lightest touch on your analog stick can hugely change your car's direction. This is why keeping control can be so tricky to begin with. A couple of quick tips before we move on. 1. Feather your boost. Instead of holding down circle, keep pressing it and letting go so your boost lasts a little longer, and controlling everything is also a little bit easier. Tip 2 is to experiment with the pitch of your car. See how the flight changes when you angle your car up or down. We'll move on to actually making contact with the ball after this community spotlight. This week we are honoured to be joined by Thomas Silloway, a Psyonix developer who's taken the time out of his incredibly busy schedule to bring all of us his number one tip.
Hi everyone, this is Thomas Silloway. I'm the project lead on Rocket League at Psyonix. My number one tip is to slow down. Use patience and vision and choose your moment wisely, then strike. Keep on practicing and keep listening to these folks and you'll soon become a Rocket League pro.
When you can determine your car's landing point, try falling on a stationary and then a moving ball. When you can do this, take to the basic aerial training and make contact with the ball when it's floating. Make weak contact with all four wheels at the start to hone your accuracy. And then gradually start connecting with your car's nose. Only then should you actually worry about scoring. But don't make this too easy for yourself. Progress to the pro training when you feel ready. Start your car at tricky angles, then increase your starting distance. Basically do anything you can think of to make this more difficult. The more variables you find, the more you're preparing for a real Rocket League match in which the ball can and will be anywhere. Kronovi will detail this further in his segment, which is up next. But notice for now how we're always using barrel roll after making contact with the ball to make sure we land on all four wheels. This should eventually become reflex, as it's vitally important in order to keep your momentum. You should take to free play and practice hitting a ball against a wall and aerialing it out the sky. This will help you judge a ball's trajectory without the pressure of failing the training or screwing over your teammate online, but it won't help you learn when to actually go for an aerial, and when to leave it for either your teammate or even your opponent. For his thoughts on exactly that topic, here is number one player in the world, Kronovi.
Thanks, Cole, for that introduction on flying. Today, I'll be going over when you should go for that sweet aerial goal. Sometimes it is best to sit on the ground and wait, while other times it's best to fly for the ball and take a shot from above. In this segment, I'll be going over a few clips that explain when you should and should not go for the ball, and what happens when you make the right or wrong decision. Alright, so in clip number 1, I go and pass it to my teammate. As you can see, 3 people go in the air, and only 1 person succeeds. Even though we don't score immediately, it puts the defense in a bad position. And eventually I'm able to make a pass to my teammate, and we get a goal. Alright, so let's cut this down and explain what really happened. Here's my teammate. Right here. Him and Kyle both jump at the same time. So it's Noir, 1992, versus Kyle. Subway isn't really doing anything. I think he's backflipping, or he has just jumped. But either way, this is Noir versus Kyle. If we roll this at 50%, you can see that Noir and Kyle are pretty much on track, but Noir was closer to the ball than Kyle was. Subway should not be going for this. He is not in a position to do anything. He's going at a backwards momentum. Let's slow it down even more. He's at backwards momentum. He's got negative momentum, and Noir actually gets way higher. In this position, from my angle, you can see this is a totally open net. Noir actually could have scored on that. He just kind of missed. But either way, blue team is totally out of position now because they made the wrong decision to go for this. In this next clip, you can see Subway not go for a block in the air, and because of it, he gets scored on by my teammate, who does go for the aerial goal. So Noir, my teammate, gets a pass, and he's ready for it. He immediately begins flying and hits it to the side of Subway, just over him. From Subway's position, he's not really looking at the ball right when it gets set up. Now he sees it, but he's not doing anything, and he kind of makes a half decision. Do I go for the ball, or do I sit in goal? And he kind of doesn't do either. So here you have 2 options. Right here. This is when he should have started flying, right there. Right when he was looking at it, before Noir started flying, that's when he should have gone for it. But now, Noir jumps, you can see him jump, and he's already in the air. Noir's already in the air. Subway, instead of going to the goal to try to block the high shot, instead of going that way, instead he turns around to challenge, but there's no way he gets that high. There's no way he challenges or contests this ball. He jumps a bit early, and had he gone even a second earlier, he would have made it. Look at how close that is. If he had gone at any earlier point, he would have definitely blocked this. Or if he had gone to the goal, this isn't that high. He can jump one time and save this, but he didn't. In this next play, I get a very nice pass from Noir and go for a very high aerial. It's kind of risky, but the only reason I continue to go for it is because I see my opposition also go for the same aerial, and they get punished for it. Let's look at this again from my angle, but we're going to slow it down a bit. So as you can see, I go for the ball, and if you watch Kyle, he doesn't start flying until right here. Kyle is very slow to this. I am actually very far off the ground when we start. So if we keep going, you can see by the time I'm ready to take my shot, Kyle is still only halfway up. He didn't get very high. You can see from my boost, I got pretty far pretty quick. Noir and Subway are both kind of out of the picture. It's just me versus Kyle in the air. So if I keep this going, you can see from Kyle's angle, he's going up for it, but he just didn't get there in time. He started too late, and I lob it right over him. Subway's not in the right spot to save it, and he kind of has to come off the wall first, and in doing so, he messes up his jump. Here Kyle's sitting in net. Right there. I began flying, you can see me, I'm already off the air, and Kyle isn't doing anything. The trick to a 1 versus 1 aerial is it's usually A, the person who is closest to the ball should go for it, and they'll win. But there's also a secondary factor. B, the person who jumps and starts flying first can sometimes beat a person to the ball even if they're farther away. By the time he starts getting liftoff, I'm already halfway to the ball. Aerials are a risky maneuver. If you want the best success rate out of your aerials, you need to make sure that you are calculated with them, that you do them at the right time, and that you come from the right angle. Missing an aerial will put you out of position and often leave you on the wrong side of the field. Doing so leaves your defense exposed, and especially in 2 versus 2 or 1 versus 1, it results in a goal. Thank you all for watching today's video on aerials. Hopefully you can be more informed with your decisions, when to go for aerials and when not to go for aerials.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for sitting through our video. We really hope it helped some of you somewhere. This is just a reminder that we are on Twitch and Twitter as well as YouTube, so we hope to see you there as well. I'll leave you with this cool play I got with Sir Ruby from Rocket League Cinema. Farewell.